Hello, my name is Benjamin Elliott and I'm the historian and writer behind Quest for Vinca, the documentary you're about to see. People have asked me countless times, how did I end up travelling to Serbia and working on this documentary? I've forgotten how it all started, in all honesty. The only conversation I can really remember with any detail, though, in the preamble, was between my colleague and that's Vladimir Jaksic. He said to me, if we're going to do a documentary like this, you've got to do your research. I'll give you 6 months to learn as much as you can, and we'll go from there. We'll get a flight, and we'll get the whole thing in the can, as it were, in a couple of weeks. And that's what I did. I spent 6 months catching up with 110 years worth of research and development into the subject of Vinca. And it's been an amazing journey. The documentary has won numerous awards, not just in England, but across the world, which I think is a real testament, not just to our work, but a testament to how important this subject is for people. It's a demonstration, not just of European development during the Neolithic, but it's a demonstration of human development. It's a part of the human story. Now, I'm not into conspiracy theories, and I'm not particularly interested in getting into politics. But something that has struck me is how little we know about this subject and this culture in the West. And even amongst my colleagues in the field of history and even in archaeology, the word Vinca means nothing. And I find that quite remarkable, because when we consider that Vinca culture itself really is the beginning of who we were going to become in Europe, I find it astounding that people in this part of the world don't know enough about it. But if you go to the Balkans, if you go to countries like Serbia, where you find most of the sites relating to Vinca, it sparks conversations and discussions, even on an emotional level. It means that much to people in that part of the world. So, as you can imagine, this kind of documentary really does question the narrative that we have in the West about our history and our development. If it wasn't for Vinca, you wouldn't have sites like Stonehenge. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank all of the people who got involved. If it wasn't for them, this would never have happened. And that includes people like Dr. Colin Renfrew, who allowed us to film at his home in Cambridge, Dr. Miroslav Kocic, who gave up several days to help us film and showed us some amazing archaeological sites, which you'll see in this documentary. And even the museum in Alexandra Vet, the town of Alexandra Vet in Serbia, they were so welcoming, even though the museum was under renovation, and they allowed us to see one of the most amazing Vinca figures to have ever been discovered. So it was a real privilege to spend my time with these people, and I am ever so grateful to you all. If I haven't mentioned you, I'm sorry, but it was an amazing experience. Somebody asked me, what was it like making a documentary? And I always say, Quest for Vinca was like a cross between Raiders of the Lost Ark and Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. No drugs, obviously, but it was a wonderful experience. You could have made a documentary out of the making of a documentary. It was brilliant. I'm going to sign off in a second, but there's something I always say, and I'm going to keep on saying it. When we understand who we were in the past, that's how we can better understand who we are today. And with that understanding, that's how we can build bridges between nations and cultures, and it brings us all closer together. And if you take anything away from this documentary, Vinca culture wasn't just a culture that existed. about 7,000 years ago. It's also an idea, because when we understand this culture, it demonstrates a fundamental component of the human story, and that's what will bring us all together. Anyway, I hope you enjoy Quest for Vinca just as much as Vlad and I did making it. So I present to you Quest for Vinca. Enjoy.